What's up, y'all? I hope y'all having a good night. I just want to do a quick live stream, touch on a few things tonight. I know y'all heard me say that I was going to start a series talking about digital dictatorship. So this right here is going to be the first part of the series, and it's going to be talking about currency control. So let's get into it. So I want to go back a little bit, and I know probably some of y'all haven't heard of this at all, and maybe some of y'all have heard of this, but I want to go back. Let's go back 2022, right? Last month of 2022. And I'm going to show y'all this article. And it's kind of hard to find a news article that I want. But this is a written article. So hold on, let me show y'all real quick. 1 second. Alrighty, I know some of y'all remember this. 5 crypto billionaires died in the final weeks of 2022. So they died in the final weeks of 2022, weeks apart. All of a sudden, just ending up dead out of nowhere. And these are billionaires and millionaires. So these are not just no normal people. These are people who can afford security, live in the best homes. They can actually get shelter. But let's break this story down. I'm gonna read this to y'all, okay? So I'm gonna kind of skip over this first part. All right. It says the number of deaths, the crypto connection, and the youth of the deceased man, among other factors, naturally prompted various conspiracy theories. Judge for yourself. Here's the list of high-profile crypto billionaires and investors who died in final weeks. So let's just stop right there. So they like to say everything is a conspiracy theory. When it's happening right in front of our eyes, we see what's going on. Like all these crypto billionaires and millionaires dying weeks apart. Y'all saying it's just a coincidence? That's not no conspiracy theory. It's happening right in front of our face. You think the people are dumb? But let's read this, and excuse me if I pronounce these names wrong. So first we have Nikolai Mushigan. I think that's what his name is. It says the first of the crypto billionaires on the list, Mushigan, 29, was the founder of the crypto lending platform MakerDAO and the decentralized stablecoin DAI at 4:57 a.m. October 28, 2022. He tweeted that the U.S. and the Israeli intelligence agencies, along with pedo elites, were going to murder him. So he tweeted this. He tweeted this on October 28th, 2022. So he said the U.S. and Israeli intelligence agencies, along with pedo elites, were going to murder her. So let's continue to read and see why. CIA, excuse me, y'all, and Mossad and pedo elites are running some kind of sex trafficking, entrapment, blackmail ring out of Puerto Rico and Caribbean islands. Michigan, a developer of blockchain-based decentralized finance platform, he saw as an alternative to the global banking system. They are going to frame me with a laptop planted by my ex-girlfriend who was a spy. They will torture me to death. He was found dead on a beach near Puerto Rico, near his 6 million beach house later that morning. A Puerto Rican newspaper citing police reports said he had been swept out by powerful ocean currents. The beach at Condado is known for strong currents, and 8 drownings have occurred there in recent years. The shooting was described as brilliant and as a visionary, but also as paranoid. His family has reportedly said he died by drowning. Okay, so how did he even end up in the water in the first place? So after tweeting this mysterious tweet, he ended up drowning mysteriously later that morning. And he already said this was the same place where they was running a sex trafficking ring. So in Puerto Rico, in which I most definitely believe this, because this is what the whole Epstein case is involving. Epstein taking people out there to these islands, having them do heinous acts on camera, and then basically recording it to blackmail them. And a lot of prominent people was on that list. A lot of prominent people was on that list. So this is a small part of it. And it says they are going to frame him with a laptop planted by his ex-girlfriend, who was a spy. So that's another thing they do. If they see you on a come up, in order to reach a certain level, they're going to be like, hey, yeah, come to this party. They gonna invite you to them parties, have you drugged up and all type of stuff, or send some woman your way and have you doing all type of heinous acts. So they can record it and then blackmail you later. And you won't know why they did this? You wanna know why that they did this? It says his platforms he saw was an alternative to the global banking system. So this man was competition to the global banking system. He was competition to them. So they had to destroy him in some type of way. They had to kill him off. Or they had to frame him. And probably what they did first, basically how they did TikTok, they probably said, hey, we want you to we want to buy you out. And for the simple fact that he probably didn't want to buy out, what could have went down is they said, you know what, fine then. We got you on tape doing all this. We got you on tape doing all these acts. So since you don't want us to buy you out, we gonna expose you for what you did, for everything you done. You have it all on tape. Because how you think he knew about that whole pedo ring? You had to be in you had to be in cahoots with it in some type of way. And basically what he was trying to do was save face. He was doing damage control before everything hit the fan. And after he put out that tweet, that was the final straw. That was like, you know what, we finna off you. So yeah, let's move on to the next one. Hold up, give me one second. So Javier Bioska was found dead on November 22nd, 2022 in Estepona, Spain. At the time of his death, Bioska was being investigated for the biggest cryptocurrency fraud in Spain. Bioska, 50, was a native of provincial Spain with a background in running small local businesses before becoming an early individual investor in Bitcoin. A web designer, Bioska created a program that allowed him to automate crypto trading. In 2019, he founded algorithm groups in London to cater to small investors eager for the sake and the thriving crypto market. Bioska, reportedly a quiet man with a demeanor of an accountant, nonetheless wooed investors with promises of investment returns up to 25%. So, let's see. Hold up, I'm going back up for a reason, y'all. So yeah, this was weeks apart. He was found dead too. And they was finna get him for crypto fraud, but I feel like they was doing the same thing. They was trying to tarnish this man's reputation. They probably didn't catch him at one of them parties, but they was going with another way to tarnish his reputation. And said, you know what? He competition as well. We gotta off him too. So one died at the end of October. Yoska, he died at the end of November. It says the alleged Ponzi scheme at first attracted. Okay, I ain't gonna read all this. Hold on, let me see. Well, hold up. Well, he probably was scamming people because he said this was a alleged Ponzi scheme. And y'all, I'm doing this live. I never really read up on these people before. I just remember the story from last year. And it was just kind of hard to find a news article, so I just wanted to read up on it and kind of break everything that's going down to y'all. So it says the alleged Ponzi scheme at first attracted mostly ordinary people looking to quickly multiply their life savings, but Bioska hired a PR team to drum up business among wealthier clients. In March 2021, a number of algorithmic group clients filed a complaint which sparked a criminal investigation that resulted in his arrest on charges of fraud, money laundering, forging documentary, and running a criminal organization. He spent 8 months in jail, reporting losing 40 pounds and suffering a severe beating from other inmates before an anonymous person posted the 1.4 million bond to get him released. The bond was revoked shortly after whoever posted it concluded Bioska, free from jail, was no more able to repay the banished funds than he was while incarcerated. Bioska, reportedly terrified of returning to prison and equally frightened of the Russian and Bulgarian mobsters he had defrauded through algorithm groups, currently jumped from the fifth floor of a hotel in Spain. His death was ruled a suicide. So he probably did. I mean, so we were saying he scammed some people. So most definitely some of these cryptocurrencies, some of these so-called tech businesses and different AI technologies, some of these things are scams and these are ran like Ponzi schemes. So in my head though, for the simple fact that it was weeks apart from the other murder, I'm not buying that it was a suicide. I feel like they was after him just as well, even though all this other stuff could be true. Most likely is true, but I feel like they was out to get him. I don't think it's a coincidence. It's only weeks apart. So it's kind of hard to pronounce these names. I'm gonna just pronounce his last name. I think it's Tayachin Kulander, 30, the co-founder of Hong Kong-based digital assets company Amber Group, died in his sleep on November 23rd, 2022. What? He just died in his sleep? So a drowning, suicide, and someone dying in their sleep. Yeah, that all makes sense. Kulander, known as TT, began his career as a trader at Goldman Sachs Group and Morgan Stanley. He launched Amber Group in 2017 with a group of finance insiders, including some of his former colleagues from Goldman and Morgan Stanley. The startup had a $3 billion valuation after scoring a $2 million funding round. In 2019, Kulander was awarded a spot on the Forbes 30 under 30 list. He's survived by his wife and young son. So it's not saying too much about him. It seems he doesn't have any scandals or anything against him. But he owned a whole digital asset company called Amber Group, and that could mostly be he most likely could have got murdered because he was competition as well. Ain't no way no 30-year-old just gonna die in his sleep out of nowhere. Like, who's buying it? Let's do these last two. Got some hard names to pronounce. We just call him Tehran. Tehran, 53, died after the helicopter he was riding in crashed on November 25th, 2022 near the resort town of Phil Frencher Mur after taking off from Lausanne in Switzerland. Ukrainian news agency Union claimed without citing any evidence that Turan was a billionaire crypto businessman with likely ties to the Russian Foreign Intelligence Service. It alleged he was linked to the SVR Foreign Espionage Agency and was responsible for laundering Russian funds through a system of cryptocurrency operations. The helicopter crashed in clear weather during a daylight flight. A second passenger who was to be on a flight canceled at the last moment. So I wonder why a passenger would cancel at the last moment. And basically with him, he died from a helicopter crash, and basically they had to put him in the They put him in the scandal as well, saying that he was allegedly laundering Russian funds through a system of cryptocurrency operations. So basically he was laundering money in a way by using his cryptocurrency. And the thing is, they don't like that. If they can't control it, if they can't get their cut, if they can't get their piece of the pie, and you competition to them as well, oh yeah, you gone. Because you're not just dealing with one country. You dealing with a whole global banking system. The most powerful people in the world. You think they finna let you just come up like that and think it's a game? Like, nah, they ain't finna have that. So next we got Parkmo. Parkmo was the vice president of Dictatorship, the largest shareholder of South Korean cryptocurrency exchange Bitcoin. He was found dead on December 30th, 2022 in front of his house in the early morning. Parkmo was under investigation at the time of the death for allegedly embezzling funds at Bitcoin related companies as well as manipulating stock prices. So, as you can see, a lot of these crypto millionaires and billionaires, they were already under investigation for embezzlement, laundering, basically not giving their share to the global banking system. I say he's the only one who didn't have no scandal to his name that I've seen already. Coolander. But yeah, all of them was in some type of scandal as far as like Ponzi scheme, laundering money, embezzlement. And the first dude up here, he about to go out. He shared on Twitter and said, hey, they was gonna blackmail him, saying he was involved with sex trafficking. That's why he went ahead and went out with this, because he, like I said before, he was doing damage control. So now that you see that, let me take it off the screen show real quick. So now that you see that, And that happened in the last 2 weeks of 2022. Last 2 weeks of 2022. So now this just happened recently. And this is all going to lead up to something. It's all going to lead up to what I'm talking about. So let's take this slow. Let's take this all in. Let's get in all this information. Okay.
This surveillance video obtained by DailyMail.com is exactly what investigators are looking for. CCTV capturing tech titan Bob Lee moments after he was stabbed early Tuesday in San Francisco. At 2:35 in the morning, the injured 43-year-old appeared to be trying to wave down a passing car, which drove away, before Lee comes clearly into view outside the doors of a condominium complex.
365 Main, crossing of Folsom and Harrison. For the stabbing.
Lee, according to the San Francisco Standard, dialed 911 and screamed, "Help, someone stabbed me."
That cell phone is a critical piece of evidence in a case like this.
San Francisco's DA, Brooke Jenkins, says detectives are looking at every angle.
When we are dealing with a case where the suspect is unknown, you are trying to interview anyone and everyone who may have had contact with the victim leading up to the time of the crime.
Lee, perhaps best known for creating the mobile payment service Cash App, was a tech icon who lived in San Francisco for years before recently moving to Miami. Police scouring the neighborhood Lee knew well for any potential clues.
We are not commenting on evidence, nor will we speculate on the circumstances surrounding this horrific crime.
As San Francisco comes under scrutiny for a recent rash of crime, including a homicide rate that's risen in past years, Lee leaves behind 2 children, including a heartbroken daughter who writes, "I'm devastated that somebody would be so cruel to take away my father's life. A life cut short in a murder that remains a mystery."
Okay. So now, not too long ago, you got the founder of Cash App being butchered at 2 a.m. in the morning in San Francisco, and nobody knows who the killer is. Nobody knows who the killer is. Butchered in the middle of the night, and he even called the police for help. He was even trying to wave a car down. How does a billionaire just get butchered down like that in the middle of the night? Like, does that make sense to y'all? And they don't know who the killer is. Allegedly, they don't. And I know San Francisco is one of those cities with heavy surveillance. I'm pretty sure there's cameras everywhere. It was cameras in front of the hotel. How did they not see who it was? They know who it is. And I gotta say allegedly, so this was allegedly another hit. So now you got all of these crypto billionaires and millionaires getting off the last 2 weeks of 2022. And now you got Cash App. The Cash App owner getting butchered in the middle of the night. So what happens next after that? I'm gonna show y'all what happened right after that. How ironic. One sec. I want the actual video. I want y'all to see like the actual video. I don't really want to hear nobody talking over on the video. Okay. So here we go, right here. This is straight from the website. Hold up. So I want y'all to see these two.
In today's fast-paced world, time is money. More people, businesses, and organizations are demanding instant payments. That's why the Federal Reserve is developing the FedNow service, a safe and efficient instant payments infrastructure that will modernize the U.S. payment system. The FedNow service will give financial institutions the opportunity to innovate, enabling their customers to send and receive money in seconds, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Funds will settle between financial institutions in real time, which means there's no buildup of interbank obligations, and end users will have access to the funds in seconds. How will the FedNow service work? Imagine the owner of a coffee shop is running low on coffee beans and needs to schedule a quick delivery. She places an order, and the coffee bean company sends her a request for payment. She responds to the request for payment and pays for the coffee beans right then and there through an app from her credit union, which uses the FedNow service. Once she initiates the payment, her credit union screens the payment and sends an ISO 20022 compliant payment message, either directly or through a service provider to the FedNow service over the Federal Reserve's FedLine network. The FedNow service instantly validates the payment message and passes it along to the coffee bean supplier's bank. In real time, the supplier's bank confirms to the FedNow service that it intends to accept the payment, and the FedNow service debits and credits the master accounts of both the shop owners and the coffee bean supplier's financial institutions or the master accounts of their correspondents. The FedNow service also immediately sends a payment message with an advice of credit to the supplier's bank and notifies the shop owner's credit union that settlement is complete. Finally, the supplier's bank credits the supplier's account in near real time, making the funds available. the supplier's bank will have the option of sending a confirmation to the shop owner's credit union that the payment has been posted to the supplier's account, providing the coffee shop owner with certainty that the payment was received. The FedNow service will be designed to be flexible and support a broad range of potential use cases. Banks, credit unions, and other industry providers can use it as a springboard for innovation to support a range of applications such as account-to-account transfers and bill pay. For example, now imagine it's after hours and the shop owner gets a reminder that her car insurance bill is due today. She may be able to avoid a late fee by initiating a bill payment in her credit union app and selecting to pay it now. Later, she repays a friend for a pizza they shared using an app provided by her credit union that clears and settles through the FedNow service. With this service, banks and credit unions can remain competitive by offering the type of payment options customers increasingly expect in today's fast-paced world. The FedNow service will support flexible adoption, allowing financial institutions the option to work with aggregators, processors, and correspondents to adopt the service. Banks and credit unions will also have the option to adopt the full set of FedNow capabilities or sign on as a receive-only participant. The initial launch of the FedNow service will focus on core clearing and settlement capabilities. Additional features will be released in phases to meet evolving industry demands and changes in technology. Get ready for the FedNow service. Learn more at fednow.org.
The Federal Reserve is considering a
Alrighty, so y'all seen that. So basically what it's going to be, it's going to be similar to your Cash App. It's going to be able to make instant payments between different institutions. So you're going to be able to get money instantly, except the only thing is the feds is going to be directly tied to it. So they're going to be able to monitor everything that you send. They're going to be able to monitor everything that you send. So it's no more of that getting money under the table and stuff like that. Nah, that's gonna be gone. That's soon gonna be gone. And what they're going to try to do, they're going to try to ease this in a way. They're going to try to ease this in because, as you can see, they are giving incentives to use this. They're basically saying, hey, if you use this, what you can do, you can actually get out money early and basically use it as credit to pay a bill and just pay it back whenever you get paid. So they're gonna use that as a form to incentivize people to go and use that service, because you can actually get out credit and actually be able to pay your bills early or get some products early that you need and just pay it back. But this comes at a cost though, because the thing is, you're gonna have to pay a monthly fee for this. I think it's a $25 monthly fee, and I think it's like $4 per transaction. So that's pretty costly just to be using their service. So you're gonna have to pay them just to use their service. Why you think all them people ended up dead? Why you think the owner of Snapchat just got butchered? Founder of Snapchat got butchered. Their competition, they're eliminating competition, because what they want to do is completely monitor everything. They want to have their own instant payment service. They want to have their own. They're going to have their own central digital banking currency that you will have to use. That could be monitored and controlled as well. And they're going to ease it out at first and make it seem innocent, because this is already going on in Nigeria. This is already going on in Nigeria, to where they already limit the amount of cash that can be withdrawn, and they're basically, in a way, softly forcing the Nigerians to not use cash anymore, to use the central digital banking currency that they have. So this is going to be a worldwide thing. They doing this worldwide. They already been doing this in countries like India for years. I think since like 2017 they've been doing this in India. So they're trying to get us to do this. And let me show y'all something else that they got. And I'll be forgetting to say fair use, but fair use. I'm doing commentary on this. So let me see. Let's stay up with y'all for a little bit, man. It's Friday, y'all. It's a Friday. So let me show you how it is.
Things are changing fast in this digital world, so much so that a growing number of businesses will not even accept cash anymore.
Yeah, they are starting to set up reverse ATMs that quickly turns cash into a prepaid debit card to be used on the fly. And Dre Clark explains from New York City. Dre, I've never heard of this. Mitch has never heard of this. What's it about?
Yeah, you know, I never heard of it either until I read about it last night. It's relatively new, but it's slowly but surely catching on. You know, cash is really still king, but reverse ATMs are definitely the way of the future as more businesses look for ways to go cashless. Here at Madison Square Garden in Midtown Manhattan, they already have machines inside the arena that can actually convert your cash into a debit card here. Now here you can see exactly how it works. You load money into a kiosk like you see here, and within seconds, you can get a receipt confirming your conversion and a prepaid active card. Many of the prepaid cards are either MasterCard or Visa, and you can use them anywhere where those cards are accepted. Some kiosks may actually charge you a $5 fee for the card. Meanwhile, amusement parks, fast food restaurants, and many professional sports venues are already using the cash to card kiosks, and you'll start seeing more of them in airports and on college campuses. Business owners say they like the kiosk because it helps prevent theft and robberies, and it stops the spread of germs that can really be found on a lot of money that's downright dirty. Now, many people started going cashless during the pandemic because they did not want to touch money and coins, fearing they could contract the virus. Meanwhile, cities across the country like San Francisco, DC, Philly, and New York, they actually have bans on cashless businesses. So business owners by law cannot refuse to accept any cash from a customer. Also, get this, the FDIC says up to 5% of US households, or 6 million Americans, are considered unbanked. That means they don't have either a checking or savings account. They prefer to deal in strictly cash. So yeah, guys, it's relatively new, but here in New York City and other places around the country, this is the way of the future. Send it back to you.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.
Okay. So y'all seen that? Reverse ATMs. They're promoting a cashless society. And guess what they said? By June 1st, that we will be out of cash. That we will be out of cash. The dollar is going to crash, y'all. Like, all this is happening in a strategic order. You had this, and I'm gonna show y'all one more thing, and I'm done. Hold up. One more thing. Because the thing is, I like to show y'all things. I like to show y'all this stuff, just so the people who don't know don't think that I'm just throwing stuff out there, just saying any random things. I like to bring some type of receipts. Hold up. Alrighty, I know y'all heard about this. Think all this a coincidence? They gonna tell you everything is okay. They trying to rock y'all to sleep.
A rough week for the banking industry.
The collapse of Silicon Valley Bank, the second biggest bank collapse in U.S. history.
The Silicon Valley Bank collapsed on March 10 after a run on deposits doomed the tech-focused lenders' plans to raise fresh capital. This prompted US regulators to step in with emergency measures, including seizing another bank 3 days later, in a bid to ease fears that depositors might pull their money from other lenders. WSJ banking reporter Rachel Ensign explains how this crisis unfolded and what could happen next.
During the pandemic, Silicon Valley Bank had gotten all of these deposits. Their deposits tripled. It was a huge influx. And they did what banks do. They took some of the deposits and made loans, but they also invested a lot of them in securities, which are pretty safe. Some issues had been bubbling under the surface at Silicon Valley Bank since the Federal Reserve started raising rates. When rates rose, the bonds fell in value. It's not a big problem for you unless you have to go and sell the bonds. But deposits started leaving the bank faster than they anticipated, and they had to sell their bonds and take a very big loss. The bank made an announcement on Wednesday night that it needed to raise capital and was planning to do that the next day. The investors completely freaked out, sold off the stock, and then a bank run started where people tried to withdraw $42 billion in deposits just in that one day. And by Friday morning, it was seized by regulators. The regulators have responded in a way that they're hoping stems the panic. The Fed said, we're going to be offering this lending facility that's a backstop. We're going to be insuring all of the deposits effectively of this bank that failed. The collapse matters because it could have broader economic effects. there was the risk that this panic would spread to other parts of the bank.
Okay, but y'all get the point. So yeah, 5 cryptocurrency billionaires and millionaires murdered within the last 2 months of December. Then you had this big bank collapse, and this is the Silicon Valley Bank collapse. This is where all the people who create your cryptocurrencies, your AIs, your tech startups, this is the bank that they use. This is their bank. And then you have the Snapchat founder being butchered. Now you have reverse ATMs. And now they're saying by June 1st that the United States will be out of cash. That by June 1st. And not to mention, they rolled this Fed Now out, like they put the marketing, the commercial out, or whatever. They put it out like right after the founder of Snapchat got killed that night. So this is part 1 of the digital dictatorship. That is to completely control your currency. Completely monitor what you're spending and what you can spend on. Because this is the first part. First, they're going to have the Fed Now. Soon, once we get completely integrated into the Fed Now system in the central digital banking currency, once we get completely integrated into this, they're going to start making restrictions. They already have it to where in China that the actual central digital banking currency can expire, so you can't save money. So if you want to save money to buy your house, or buy some land, or buy some property, or even if you want to save up some money by you a nice car that you know costs money, but you want to just spend a whole bag on it, they gonna kill that. They gonna cut all of that out because it's gonna be expired. And it's another part to this as well. If your social credit score, which is going to be a completely different part, but it's not up to par, you won't be able to buy certain things. You won't be able to use certain services. When you go to buy something on a website or something like that, say you want to buy some ammo or some survival gear, or you want to or you just trying to stock up on different items, they'll have it to where they can control to where you won't even be able to buy that if they don't want you to buy it. 15-minute cities, or should I say 15-minute ghettos, when they implement that, going to be another part of the digital dictatorship. You won't be able to spend outside your zone. They gonna have it like the Hunger Games, where they have you like in different zones and things like that. That's what these 15-minute ghettos are gonna be. Completely surveillance, and controlled, and yeah, you won't be able to do anything. So if you try to spend money outside your zone, they can cut that off. This is what this is all leading to. This is just the start of it. It's going to progress. Oh yeah, say you got some bills to pay or you owe some student loans, they'll have complete control to where they'll take that out automatically. Ooh, and let's not forget this. You be online saying things that they don't like, or you publicly speaking against the establishment. Oh, we just gonna turn your money off. You're gonna be an exile, buddy. They want a complete monopoly over this, y'all. They're saying you will own nothing and be happy. That whole Agenda 2030 saying, hey, that's what it is. You're basically going to own nothing and be happy. It's going to be a digital dictatorship, and the first part of this is going to be the economic collapse, the economic fall of America. They're taking out all competition. So for all y'all thinking, hey, we're going to be able to get a piece of this pie. You know, we're going to be able to come up off of this. They're going to cut that out soon. We've seen what they did to the other crypto billionaires. You might have a little time or something. I don't know exactly when, but they want a complete monopoly over this. Because if you don't play it their way, they're just going to drag your name through the mud. They're going to put some type of scandal on you, saying you was embezzling. Said they're going to start so-called investigating you. You don't play it their way. They're going to say you was laundering money. And if you get caught up in one of these parties to where they can blackmail you, they're going to use that against you. They're going to use something against you to dirty your name. So this is just the first part of it. Getting rid of the dollar, bringing in a global currency. Y'all, this is the first part of the digital dictatorship. There's more to come. So keep your eyes and keep your ears open on what's going on. And yeah, I was actually about to do this broadcast a little later. I was actually about to do a different topic tonight, but somebody else kind of covered that topic in a way. So I'm going to say that probably for tomorrow or another day. But y'all have a good night. Y'all stay blessed. Y'all stay safe out there. Yeah, peace.